What's up, guys? I'm back with another weapon review today, and I want to get a little caught up on some of the Pale Heart weapons. I've been kind of slacking on those with a lot of other really exciting stuff coming out, but that's not to say that the Pale Heart weapons are slouches. And in fact, a lot of these are some of the best weapons in the game. Specifically, today we're going to talk about the Call, the latest rocket assisted frame and second legendary since Indebted Kindness. Unlike Indebted Kindness, the Call resides in the kinetic slot, which means you can pair it with a light-based energy primary weapon, such as the Nullify, or past favorites of mine like the Subjunctive. It makes it very versatile because you can have your shield breaking primary and then also have the Call, which is very strong at taking out orange and yellow bar enemies and generates a ton of darkness energy for your transcendence. When I look at the Call and Indebted Kindness as individual weapons, they both actually end up serving a slightly different purpose. Indebted Kindness really thrived on its utility perks like Volt Shot, Pre-Nerf Deconstruct, and Permeability, giving it a lot of versatility and allowing it to fit a lot of different situations. The Call does not necessarily lack versatility. Instead, the Call is all about raw power. This thing hits hard, and it is built to hit hard, especially when you look at the perks in the fourth column, which we'll get to in a little bit. This weapon is designed to shred. When you're looking at the first column, when you're looking at those barrel perks, my focus on any rocket assisted sidearm is velocity. I like to reduce that travel time as much as possible. You're never going to get this weapon to feel hit scan like a hand cannon or a traditional sidearm, but the more you can decrease that feeling of the round leaving the weapon and then hitting the enemy, that's less you have to account for travel time, that's less you have to account for in your aim. It makes it feel more usable. It makes it feel snappy, even though snappy is usually a handling type term. It makes it feel maybe responsive is the better term here. It just works. And I always prioritize velocity, whether it's Indebted Kindness, whether it's the Call, it's going to make a difference. And I really feel like it is crucial to the usability of this weapon. So I will always tell you to prioritize velocity. Personally, I went with quick launch because I like to benefit from the 10 velocity and the 15 handling, though you could also go with something like smart drift control, which gives you stability, velocity, recoil direction, handling. Recoil direction is not the most important on this weapon, as those rockets kind of move on their own a little bit. Not really a concern for me. There is also hard launch, which is a plus 15 to velocity, but you're going to lose 10 stability. You lose a little bit of blast radius, but that's not the end of the world. I would rather keep the stability. That's one of the lower traits on this weapon, and that's something I like to keep at least around like a mid-level. Definitely recommend quick launch. Wouldn't fault you for going with something like smart drift. When we get to magazines, I have 3 picks here that I think any of these 3 will be solid, and it just depends on your preferences. You have high velocity rounds, which again is going to increase that weapon's velocity while also increasing its reload speed. Then you have Flared Magwell, which gives you plus 15 to reload speed and plus 5 stability. Both perks that are going to be very beneficial on a weapon like this. Personally, I went with Tactical Mag. You get the boost to the magazine size, which, when combined with a backup mag mod, gives it 15 rounds in the magazine, which basically feels like you can fire it forever, and I love it. You also get plus 10 reload speed and plus 5 stability. So you're getting most of the reload speed from Flared Magwell, all of the stability from Flared Magwell, and additional magazine size. Flared is great if reload is all that matters to you and you are looking to use a perk like, say, multi-kill clip, not to jump too far ahead. That could be a difference maker for you, and I don't fault you for going that route. Me personally, Tactical Mag was what I went with, and I'm confident that it will suit the needs of most players. Columns 3 and 4, there's a lot to unpack here. These two columns are absolutely stacked. These are some of the best combinations you can get on any weapon, let alone a weapon as strong as the Call. Just a couple of highlights you can get. Demo Adrenaline, or Desperate Measures. Stats for all, one for all. Slice, Hatchling, Subsistence, Vorpal Weapon, Lead from Gold, Multi-Kill Clip, and almost any variation of those. You also have new, more specialized perks like Strategist. You have older perks like Beacon Rounds that can add a level of usability to the weapon. You have perks like Golden Tricorn, which can be up to a 50% damage buff if you are running a primarily strand-focused kit. Multi-Kill Clip is the perk I was the most excited to try on this weapon because I really thought the potential of having that 50% damage buff was going to push this thing to the next level. The uptime on it was fine, but sometimes you're just not getting the 3 adds you want. Sometimes you killed everything with that first mag, and now you have multi-kill clip ×1 or multi-kill clip ×2, which is still good at 33%. But there's too much variability where with something like One For All, it's a static 35%, but I feel I am able to keep that up more regularly. I can move from fight to fight and keep One For All procced, or keep engaging it in the same mag. Even if I go from one fight over here and then across the way is another objective, if I haven't reloaded my gun and One For All happened to time out, I can hit 3 adds very quickly and it's back. I didn't have to reload. I didn't have to take time out of the fight. Multi-Kill Clip is an extremely strong perk, and so is Golden Tricorn. But with the explosive ammunition that comes out of this gun, a spawn wave comes up of 3 red bars, shoot right down the middle of them, and you're probably proccing One For All. It is so usable, it's kinda free, and I love it. As somebody who hasn't always been sold on One For All, this is the weapon I think was built for it. I paired that with Lead from Gold because I wanted the ammo economy. I'm currently running my Titan with hazardous propulsion, so you know I'm hitting that thruster pack, launching those missiles, and taking advantage of that rocket buff, which means I'm getting a lot of heavy ammo on the ground that I'm picking up to refill my rocket. That's also giving me ammo for the Call. I have so much uptime, I could almost use it as a primary weapon. It's crazy. That's what I would use, but I wouldn't fault you for almost any combination on this. I know that's not exactly helpful, but you can really tailor this weapon to whatever kind of damage you want to be doing. There's almost no wrong answers here. The origin trait is ho-hum, and that's putting it nicely. It's supposed to increase super generation. It's supposed to increase it more when you run multiple weapons from the Pale Heart. I haven't noticed anything. I haven't been like, oh wow, my super comes back so fast. It was never going to be a drastic change in super time. Don't be surprised if you don't notice anything about it. It's kind of the only bad perk on the whole weapon. As far as intrinsic frames, again, I recommend Velocity. For mods, I recommend Backup Mag. You could always go Freehand Grip. You could go Quick Access Sling. Really, anything. Again, you kind of can't go wrong. This weapon is so good. It's so easy to use. It's so effective at what it does. If you haven't crafted it yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. This is the weapon from the final shape that was new to the final shape so far that I have had on my person, on my Guardian, the most of any other weapon in the expansion. That's not always reflected in my kills because I like using all my weapons. But I will tell you, I feel better going into a fight, knowing the Call is equipped, and knowing I can pull that out, get my Darkness Energy real quick, pop Transcendence, and know I can take down those tougher enemies very quickly. This is one of the best guns Go figure, in the expansion with some of the best guns we've ever had, this is one of the best guns in the game. Another one. Highly recommend it. Go get one, craft it, enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.